Morning, everyone. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. A lot of folks early this morning maybe waking up to some thunder and lightning as we had some scattered thunderstorms push through the southeastern corner of the state over the last several hours. This is a look at what the radars look like over the course of the last 6 hours. You can see storms developing, again, really just to the west of Lincoln and pushing through portions of Seward, Saline, Jefferson County, again, about 3-4 o'clock this morning. We did have a severe thunderstorm warning that was issued for the city of Lincoln, portions of Lancaster County, primarily for the threat of some large hail, though we did pick up some pockets of heavy rain mixed in there as well. Then we had one other little storm that kind of popped up around town about 5:30 this morning. And as of right now, again, just before 9 o'clock, again, really most of the moisture has wrapped up. So, again, some decent thunderstorms pushing through the area through the overnight hours, kind of what we had expected for the most part. And again, some lingering light showers out there right now. And I think for the most part, again, we could still see a pop-up shower, isolated thunderstorm as we head through the remainder of this morning. But I think, generally speaking, our chance for any moisture is basically done with now. And we should see generally decreasing cloud cover, and depending on how much cloud cover, we can get rid of some warmer temperatures as we head into this afternoon. So, looking at the observed precipitation, this is observed over the last 24 hours, so it does catch a little bit of the moisture that we actually had early yesterday morning as well. Again, up in north central Nebraska, they had some thunderstorms last night, couple stronger ones. Valentine picked up about a half an inch of moisture, 1,500ths in Thedford, about a half an inch in Kearney, around a tenth of an inch in Grand Island, 500ths or so in York, as well as Hastings. Officially at the Lincoln Airport with our thunderstorms we had moved through earlier this morning, about a third of an inch of moisture, which again we'll take. Again, we had about, I think, 400ths yesterday, another 3,300ths or so today. So about 4/10ths between yesterday and today, which is the first measurable moisture we've had since the first of the month, when we had about 2 inches of rainfall. Fortunately, Beatrice, they're still offline, still waiting for that sensor to get corrected. Across the Lincoln Metro on the Tempest weather stations, again, some spots had a little bit, some spots had a little bit more. Rainfall amounts ranged from around 2/10ths, a quarter of an inch, all the way up to about 3/4 of an inch across the Lincoln Metro. Here at the 1011 Studios, 40th and Vine, 6100ths is what our Tempest weather station measured. Our neighbor just to the south of the station only had 1700ths, though, which again is kind of sometimes how that rain falls, especially if you have a little bit stronger part of a cell or just an isolated cell on one part of town. Again, so decent rainfall, but again, kind of northeastern as well as southeastern parts of the metro probably saw the heaviest moisture. Otherwise, quarter to half an inch of moisture across much of the Lincoln Metro, which again, much needed, and we'll take it. So we'll still watch for some lingering rain possibly through the morning, but again, like I said, I think we're basically done with our moisture for the day. Also continue to watch for some areas of fog this morning as well. That's more of an issue for central and western parts of the state. Otherwise, then the overall trend is going to be increasing temperatures as we head through the week. I think today it'd likely be our last day where we see below average temperatures for eastern Nebraska. Otherwise, I think tomorrow close to where we should be, and then climbing from there, and then likely peaking Friday, Saturday with temperatures right around 90. And again, looking at the Husker football game on Saturday, an 11 a.m. kick. Again, probably kickoff temperatures around 80, but again, when you're packed in there with 80,000 of your closest friends, it feels even warmer than that. You know, if there's sunshine, you're in the direct sun, it's going to get feel even warmer. So kind of pretty far away from where we were last weekend when temperatures were very pleasant, conditions were very comfortable. So that'll be something that we watch as we head through the week. Dense fog advisories are in place where, again, this is an issue across kind of central, southwestern parts of the state. They run for another 15 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes or so through 9 a.m. Again, visibilities this morning have been pretty low. Again, reported at 0 for Holdridge as well as McCook, around half mile for North Platte, Ogallala, quarter of a mile up in O'Neill. Again, visibility for the Tri-Cities, for the most part, it's good. Kearney, again, down to a mile and a quarter. Again, no issues with visibility here in Lincoln or really for the eastern third of the state. So, again, just one of those reminders. Give yourself some extra following distance. Again, make sure you're using your low beams when you're driving through the fog there. You can kind of see North Platte. Can't really see much as that thick fog has kind of settled in. Kind of some mist and drizzle there in Grand Island. Has the camera a little wet. And again, generally dry. With a mix of sun and clouds in eastern Nebraska for that Lincoln and Omaha picture that you see there. Right now in Lincoln at 63, both at the airport and at the 1011 studio, south wind at around 10 miles an hour. Dew point, not bad, it's at 60, but again, the dew points are something we're going to be watching this week as well, as they're going to be climbing over the next several days. Temperatures on the Tempest weather stations generally sit in the low to mid 60s across town, across the state, all the way down to the low 40s for parts of the Panhandle. Again, Alliance, they're down to 43. It's 46 in Sydney, 49 in Scotts Bluff. Otherwise, most of the 10-11 coverage area has temperatures generally in the lower to middle 60s, 60 in Grand Island, 62 in North Platte, 59 in Hastings, and 59 in Kearney. Dew point numbers, again, upper 50s, low 60s. These aren't too bad. But again, dew point numbers, I think, will be ticking up a little bit as we head through this week. And again, it'll be kind of in that muggy category. I think maybe mid to maybe even upper 60s at times as we continue to head through the week. So again, a little bit stickier than I think it's been for the last week or 2 weeks. Winds today I don't think will be as much of an issue. It was a bit blustery at times yesterday. I think generally looking at a south wind about 5 to 15 miles an hour for most areas as we head through the day today. Satellite radar picture, again, this is back to a 4-hour loop. Again, we can see some of the isolated activity that we had across the southeastern corner of the state through this morning. For the most part, though, that's wrapped up. Again, we do still have some lingering showers down across our northern Kansas counties, down into northeastern Kansas. But most of that activity is pushed over the river into parts of western Iowa or northwestern Missouri. Most of the state this morning, again, generally dry. But again, you look at the visible satellite imagery, and we can see some of those areas of fog across the central and southwestern sections of the state. Again, we saw camera there in Grand Island. Had some raindrops on it. Again, some mist, drizzle in those areas. So we'll continue to watch for some of that. But this should erode as we head through the day today. So back to the satellite radar picture. We zoom out, look at a regional view. Overall, things are pretty quiet. Again, got some scattered showers out there. National view, again, overall, things are pretty quiet right now. Some scattered showers, thunderstorms in the Gulf. Across portions of southern Canada, the upper peninsula there in Michigan, scattered showers across the Rockies into the Pacific Northwest, but really nothing too noteworthy as of right now. That's also reflected in our weather alerts. We really don't have too much going on in the way of any weather alerts. Again, those dense fog advisories here at home has some flood warnings down in portions of central Kansas from some heavy rains overnight last night. Again, dense fog advisories, air quality alerts for portions of Minnesota and then up into the Pacific Northwest. Overall, though, again, weather's pretty quiet, and I mentioned it yesterday, but again, we're nearing the peak of our tropical hurricane season, and again, right now, the Atlantic Basin is pretty quiet for us as well. So back here at home, again, not a whole lot for us to worry about. That dense fog advisory will expire at 9 o'clock, so in about 5 or so minutes. You check out Skycast, again, has some of those areas of fog and low clouds kind of lingering through the morning, so we'll keep an eye on the cloud cover as we head into the afternoon. Again, should erode and should lead to mostly sunny skies, I think, by late this afternoon into early parts of this evening, but we won't completely get rid of the cloud cover. I think as we head then overnight tonight, we're going to look for mostly clear to partly cloudy conditions again into Wednesday morning, possibly some more areas of fog that we'll keep an eye on, especially for central and eastern sections of the state this time. But again, could impact that morning commute, so we'll keep an eye on it. By Wednesday afternoon, though, again, should be looking at mostly sunny, fairly pleasant conditions, but again, temperatures a little bit warmer, I think closer to normal for us by Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening. Again, we won't rule out a stray shower or thunderstorm, I think, for western parts of the state Wednesday evening, but most of us are going to stay dry. And then as we head into the day on Thursday, kind of more of the same, a little bit warmer. Again, maybe some patchy fog in the morning. By the afternoon, mostly to partly sunny skies. Generally dry, but again, just a little bit warmer for us as we head into the day Thursday. 7-day precipitation potential, kind of a little bit of a hole right there in the precipitation potential right over the kind of east central parts of the state. So again, not a lot of moisture expected for us as we head over the course of the next week. We have some small chances, but chances we do have aren't that great in terms of the amounts of moisture. So we'll keep an eye on that as we head over the next several days. But at least right now, in terms of any additional rain chances as we head over the course of the next week, nothing really screaming a ton of rain heading our way. Severe weather outlook for the day today. We do have a marginal risk in the southwestern corner of the state. Otherwise, I think we're generally going to see dry conditions through most of the day today, but can't rule out an isolated thunderstorm there in parts of southwestern Nebraska. That could be on the stronger side. Wednesday, no severe weather expected in the area, though, again, we can't rule out a stray shower or thunderstorm. And then basically the same deal for the day on Thursday as well. So we zoom in, take a closer look, statewide view. Again, check out Skycast. Again, some areas of fog, low clouds, drizzle, mist will linger as we head through the morning hours. But by this afternoon, that should give way to mostly sunny skies, I think, for most of the coverage area, and generally dry conditions. By late tonight, a mostly clear to partly cloudy. Again, we'll watch for a storm or two in the southwestern corner of the state. Our in-house model not picking up on that really great. Into tomorrow morning, again, some more areas of fog, maybe some low clouds possible to start the day. But by the afternoon, again, we should be looking at mostly sunny skies for most of the area. A little bit of a southeast breeze. Generally dry conditions. Temperatures a little bit warmer, dealing with a little bit of humidity. And then into the day on Wednesday, kind of rinse and repeat. We'll do the same kind of thing. Look for mostly to partly sunny skies across the state as we head into the day on Thursday. A little bit warmer, a little bit humid, but generally dry. So temperatures, again, first 8 days of September have been the second coolest on record here in the capital city. Actually, I have to go back to 1974, I believe, to find a cooler start to the month of September, but getting back at least closer to where we should be, I think, over the next week or so. So today, again, still technically speaking, a degree or two below normal for the eastern and central sections of the state. Again, normal high 82, 83 degrees or so. So we'll be close to that number today, but again, technically speaking, a little bit below average for us today in eastern Nebraska. Warmer in the west, where they should reach the mid to upper 80s. And then tonight, again, similar to kind of what we had this morning, upper 50s to lower to middle 60s for lows. Temperatures tomorrow, again, a degree or two warmer, and this time kind of right at, if not a degree or two above average now, generally in the lower to middle 80s across much of the 10-11 coverage area, so mid to upper 80s, maybe low 90s in the west. Thursday morning, kind of same story, low to mid 60s for most of the state. Thursday afternoon, again, a degree or two warmer. Now we're talking mid to upper 80s across much of the state, 86 in Lincoln, 85 in Grand Island, 84 in North Platte. Friday morning, a little bit warmer, mid to upper 60s for lows, maybe some spots right around 70 degrees to start Friday. Friday afternoon, starting to see temperatures, I think, reach their peak, or in the upper 80s to right around 90 degrees, so definitively above average for the 10-11 coverage area, including here in Lincoln. And then into Saturday morning, again, likely a lot of early morning tailgaters with an 11 a.m. kick. We're looking at lows in the upper 60s to right around 70 degrees. Afternoon highs on Saturday, again, right around 90 for us here in Lincoln. And again, that'll probably be reached kind of as the game is coming to an end Saturday afternoon. But again, humidity will be a little bit higher, likely seeing those dew points in the mid to maybe upper 60s. So it might feel even warmer than that. And again, when you're in the stadium, it's always feels hotter than if you're outside the stadium. So again, if you are going to be heading down to the game this weekend, make sure you're keeping yourself well hydrated, taking care of yourself. Again, obviously they're serving alcohol in the stadium now, but make sure you're mixing in some water with those adult beverages now as well. So keep that in mind. But you can see the cooler temperatures kind of arriving in western parts of the state on Saturday, upper 70s, low to mid 80s for the Panhandle, into the Sandhills, into portions of central Nebraska, but southeastern and southeastern Nebraska still pretty warm there on Saturday. And then temperatures a little bit cooler to finish the weekend on Sunday. A little bit above average, though, cooling back to the lower 80s, mid 80s by next Monday. We have some very small chances for rain over the next couple days. Again, our 20% that we have on there for today is likely for some lingering possibilities of rain early this morning. I think that chance is basically done with, though. Thursday, very small chance, 20%. Saturday and Sunday, also very small chances. There's going to be a weak boundary system that kind of just skirts through the area, so we'll kind of keep an eye on that right now again, but low-end rain chances at this point, slightly better by next Monday, 30% chance for some showers and thunderstorms in the area. And you can see temperatures over the next 10 days. Most of these, again, either right at where we should be this time of year, kind of like today, if not then above average. So again, first 10 or so days of September, well below average. Again, second coolest on record here in the capital city and for many areas across the coverage area. But certainly looks like the next 10 days of September are going to be much warmer. Again, by the time we get to the end of September, it all kind of generally comes out in the wash, and we're pretty close to where we should be this time of year. But again, near record cool start to the month of September, but next 10 days a lot closer to average. Dew points also, again, we're not done with the humidity just yet. Dew points are going to be, again, higher. They're not going to be horrible, but we're still going to be dealing with some humidity over the course of the next week to 10 days. Rain chances, again, I think after our chance from this morning, rain chances are pretty limited, I think, as we head through the remainder of this week. Small chances return to the forecast as we head into the weekend and then continue as we head into the week next week. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. This kind of gives us just the odds, the trend of whether, below average or above average in terms of just overall temperatures, not just highs, not just lows, but kind of everything. And this is September 16th through September 22nd. Right now, favoring above average temperatures across much of the region, also continuing to favor above average precipitation across the region as well. So that's all something that we'll keep a close eye on here as we head over the course of the next week, but not a whole lot for us to necessarily worry about today. Again, now that our rain chance is basically done with, we could see some lingering showers in far southeastern Nebraska through the morning, but generally I think we're done with our moisture. We'll keep an eye on the areas of dense fog for central and western sections of the state, but again, by this afternoon we should be looking at mostly sunny skies. Warmer temperatures, though, again, still below average for Lincoln and eastern Nebraska, but only by a degree or two. But temperature is going to be warming up for us over the course of the next several days. So we'll keep an eye on all of that, and again, we'll keep you updated. So just make sure you can stay tuned to the latest. Again, keep it tuned to 1011 both on air and online for the latest forecast. Make sure you have 1011 weather app downloaded on your phone. The 1011 app on your Roku, your Apple TV, your Fire TV. We're live there. We're live on YouTube as well on our YouTube channel. You go there and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. So appreciate everyone for tuning in, watching. As always, hope everyone has a nice Tuesday.